Every frequent traveler recognizes the tension that builds the moment airport security comes into view. The line looks manageable at first. People move forward with quiet confidence. Then the rhythm breaks. A scanner beeps, an agent gestures. Someone steps aside. Too often, that person is you. I know this feeling well because I lived it repeatedly before I understood the pattern behind it. For years, I believed airport security delays were random. I blamed bad timing, strict officers, or outdated machines. After more than a decade of constant travel, I realized the truth is simpler and more frustrating. Security rarely reacts to chance. It reacts to what you wear. Clothing choices silently decide whether you pass smoothly or lose time, privacy, and patience. I learned this through repetition and embarrassment. I learned it while standing barefoot on cold floors, watching my belongings disappear into grey bins. I learned it while families waited for me beyond security. One Christmas morning, an outfit I thought was harmless triggered multiple alarms. I missed boarding priority and started the day stressed and angry. That experience changed how I travel forever. The most common mistake begins with anything that shines. Clothing with metallic thread, sequins, decorative studs. Or pearl details may look subtle in natural light, but scanners read metal without nuance. Even fabrics that appear soft and minimal can contain enough metal fibers to trigger an alert. I once wore a lightweight top with a slight shimmer, convinced it was safe. The scanner disagreed. I was pulled aside twice and questioned for something I could not remove. Since then, anything with metal stays packed. I change after security because 5 minutes in a restroom always beats 20 minutes of secondary screening. Another mistake hides in plain sight. Tying a hoodie or sweater around your waist feels practical and harmless, yet it creates one of the biggest problems for scanners. Knots block visibility. The machine cannot clearly read what sits beneath that bundled fabric, so it flags you automatically. What makes this worse is the lack of explanation. Agents often tell you not to do it without saying why. I tested this myself across multiple trips. Same airport, same scanner. Hoodie tied meant extra screening. Hoodie worn or carried meant smooth passage. Scarves behaved differently, which proves how inconsistent enforcement can be. If consistency matters to you, avoid knots entirely. Belts introduce another layer of risk. Bulky buckles and thick metal hardware increase the chance of alarms, even in pre-check lanes. Rules around belts have changed over time, and enforcement depends on both technology and location. I stopped trying to guess. I simply stopped wearing belts through security. I place mine in an accessible pocket and put it on later. The same strategy applies to chunky jewelry. Removing and replacing accessories costs less time than explaining them to an agent. Watches sit in a grey zone that many travelers misunderstand. In some airports, they pass unnoticed. In others, officers insist they come off. I experienced this contrast clearly in different Mexican airports, where agents motioned for me to remove my watch before screening. In the United States, that rarely happens. Same watch, same wrist, different rules. Few travelers know they can request a private screening if they feel uncomfortable with extra checks. Two same-gender officers escort you to a separate area. Privacy exists, but only if you ask. Footwear causes delays that ripple through the entire line. Boots with buckles, thick soles, or tight laces slow removal and frustrate everyone behind you. I learned this lesson when I wore pull-on boots with a heel and nearly fell while trying to remove them quickly. The line stopped, eyes watched, stress spiked. Now I prepare before leaving home. I loosen laces significantly and tie them lightly. At security, they slide off easily. Afterward, I retie them calmly while reorganizing my bag. Pockets ruin efficiency more than almost anything else. Coins, keys, tissues, and wallets all matter, even in pre-check lanes. Many travelers assume pre-check allows pockets to stay full. That assumption triggers alarms. Hidden money belts and passport holders worn under clothing are even worse. Scanners detect them immediately, and without exception, I have watched travelers pulled aside within seconds because of them. The rule is simple: empty your pockets completely. Carry sensitive items in your bag until you clear security. Hair accessories create problems most people never consider. Large metal clips and thick pins trigger alerts, and large buns create density areas scanners cannot read clearly. If you need your hair up, wait until after security. Otherwise, expect agents to check what the scanner could not see. I learned that lesson standing still while someone examined my hairstyle more closely than I ever expected. Bulky coats introduce another challenge. Thick layers hide shapes and scanners do not guess. Flight attendants shared a simple and effective trick with me. Carry a thin bag in your personal item. Place your coat inside before screening and send it through separately. On the plane, the same bag keeps your coat clean and out of overhead bins, where space always runs short. But long flowy dresses and skirts feel comfortable and practical for travel, but scanners struggle with them. Loose fabric traps air, and air appears as unknown space on imaging machines. I tie a loose knot near my knees just before entering the scanner. This creates a clearer silhouette the machine can read. Once through, I untie it and move on. The process takes seconds and avoids unnecessary attention. But hidden money belts deserve repetition because they cause the fastest alarms. Worn under clothing, they guarantee secondary screening. I keep them in my bag until I clear security, then put them on in private. That single habit has saved me countless delays. Airport security rewards one thing above all else: predictability. Fewer layers, fewer metals, fewer hidden shapes. Before leaving home, I ask one question. Will this help me move forward or slow me down? Speed through security is not luck. It is preparation, awareness, and choices you control. Subscribe and follow the channel. I post videos each week where you learn travel tips, airport habits, and simple ways to move through flights with less stress.